BTC has just broken the 200-day MA. Things could be heating up for something here. We could get a massive squeeze this afternoon. It could be coming in the next couple of hours. So we are watching this very closely. Today, I'm talking a lot about what is going on in China. There is more news from China. We know there was Chinese news a couple of days back. There's more coming in now that could lead to even more pumpage in the market. Then I've got updates for you on some absolute bangers that we've been trading this week on my show. Then I've got a couple of new setups that are ready to go. The market is hot. I've got you DGens are covered. I've got the spot traders covered. Guys, we got a banger show today. We are packed with things happening here. Let's get right into this. And you're going to remember today, you're going to hit the like, you're going to hit the bell, you're going to hit the subscribe. There's a couple of things going on here. One of them is I'm doing another giveaway for you guys, okay? There's a little thing you have to do, but I'm doing a giveaway for you, so stick around then. If you don't like this bullish chest, have you ever seen a chest? The man's obviously euphoric. I mean, the bull hairs are out. So, you know, we're feeling quite good. If you don't like the show, well, you like this man's chest, come on, do the man a favor. And Cunning George.
Let's smash those likes. Let's go.
It's a family show. It's a family show. Cunning George. Okay, Banter Bubbles. I don't think this is a fair representation of the amount of rippage we have just seen in the last couple of minutes. So things are definitely turning a little bit hotter here. And Say is still delivering at the moment. You can see Rune has come alive again. Rune has just broken the 200-day moving average. I'm talking about Rune today, and I'm going to tell you why. It's one of my biggest spot bags as well. So we're going to deal with that. Bonk, absolutely killing it. Whiff is absolutely killing it. And I've got a special Whiff guest here today. I've got two guests with us. There's one. He's hiding at the moment. He's the Whiff champion. When he shows his face, there he is.
How's it going, guys?
This is a member of Sniper Club. He's coming second in the Zoomex competition. He only trades Whiff. Okay, we're going to find out a lot more from him just now. Then we've got Brian over here, also in the Sniper Club. He's in the Zoomex competition. He's a firefighter by day and a DGen by night. And he's going to tell us a bit more about himself a bit later as well when we talk Zoomex comp. Brian, don't forget to unmute when I bring you on just now. Okay, so just make sure you are unmuted there. Okay, guys, let's get into what is happening because we've got so much to talk about today. We got look at all these tabs up here, and I've just packed this thing with alpha for you guys. Okay, so BTC on the 4 hour, I've now had to compress it because we've been in such a tight range for so long. So now we're looking at BTC on the 4 hour. Massive move here for me. We have just broken the 200-day MA, and guess what? Uncle has walked into my office again. I'm live, bro. I'm live. This is my time.
Unbelievable.
Yes, I'm going away, so I'm doing a show now. Sorry, folks. I'm coming. Uncle's here. He's here.
No, but let's talk about
No, come on. You can't do this again, bro. I got such a banging.
Come on, what's happening?
Right,
At least it's not baby oil.
He likes to rip me off by my beard gel. Come on. I like it. I'm pumped. The market's bullish. Okay, so 4 hour BTC, 4 hour looking so good. Yeah, we've got our 200-day MA break. Now, this thing was critical for us over the last few weeks. Okay, this has been a major amount of resistance for us, and we've been saying we keep knocking on the door on this 200-day MA. Is this third time now the lucky one? Is this third time lucky where we get our squeeze? Are we going to get our squeeze to 65K? Are we going to get our squeeze to 68K? So that is a big one that we're going to be watching today. And then any potential downside here for you guys, no changes to yesterday's plan. It's 62K all day long. Okay, that is my big zone here, 62K. That keeps this trend in play for us, and things remain nice and bullish. If we do get a massive sell-off later, leading into US, for example, and tomorrow, I'm going to give you an explanation as why there could be some kind of sell-off coming. Still, we've got 60K locked in for you guys. These are the big zones. These are the two zones where I'm looking for longs on BTC, high conviction longs for me off these areas. Okay, invalidation naturally is going to be loss of these levels and any moves lower down. Okay, so we got so much to talk about here. Let's start with the current situation. Firstly, for everybody who was sitting in the bear market and thought the bear market was going to continue for another 6 months, here's a little message. Is anyone else still waiting for 20K? He's not happy, Ray. Are you waiting for 20K, Ray?
Definitely not.
Okay, so China is coming to save the day. We know we got tons of bullish news out there at the moment. Things are really looking good out there in the macro side of things. And now China, we know that a couple of days ago, they came with their stimulus that they want to push to the economy. That really helped things along the way. But then they came with another banger today, okay? And they're now talking about injecting $142 billion into their banks. Okay, so a little bit more bullish source. And as a result of that, investors bought the most amount of Chinese stocks on Tuesday in 3.5 years. Okay, that is the last bull market when these guys were aping in like this. Now we are aping in again. And it's for this exact reason that I'm wearing the bull hat. Okay, I've been very careful here. I've left the white hat off. Whenever we put the white hat, the market dumps. Okay, today I've gone with the bull hat. Let's see if that is going to help us. So things are looking good from a Chinese side of things. And 𝗪𝗘𝗪 just telling us he loves the smell of more cowbell in the morning. Everything code is in full play. And this is around the third innings. Remember, markets lag global liquidity by 10 weeks. Okay, the new China stimulus doesn't even appear on the chart yet. So this is still prior to today's announcement. Guys, things are heating up, okay? And anyone now holding spot and those types of things, you guys are good, okay? You're getting good entries in good zones. We can see the macro situation is teeing up. We are going to be net up in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months. We know we're going to be net up. It's how we get there, okay? Let's not fuck this up. Let's not get chopped up in trading too much leverage and all these types of things. It's written in the stars now. It's getting locked in for us that we are going to get a nice run along the way. And if anyone was feeling like this, you know, trading in the last 18 months, Ray, I thought of you, bro. That's all this man trades more than anybody I've ever seen. But this is if you were trading in the last 18 months. My accountant, after seeing that I placed 89,000 trades last year just to make $38 profit. Check the comment at the bottom. Are you a sicko? But I can assure you guys. I can assure you guys, those days are behind us, okay? We're killing it here. We're making tons of money. Just make sure you are banking profits. Please make sure you are banking profits along the way. It's the best thing that you can do. And remember, at the beginning of the last cycle, when gold was in the white chart, was surging, okay? Well, Bitcoin was around, slowly chopping. Just a reminder, okay? There could be a slingshot play on BTC just using the gold chart. Now, this gold chart is absolutely ripping. I marked the target yesterday for you guys. This is potentially where I can start looking on a prime XBT short on gold. When we do get into that type of region, maybe we're going to get some kind of reversal, but it's coming, okay? So let's let gold do its thing. Let it be the little slingshot for BTC, and then let's just enjoy the moment. Now,
can we not short the likes since we started earlier, guys? Let's have everybody know that we're live.
The man's chest hair is out, okay? Like he's exposing his chest for likes here for you guys. Okay, one more thing. There's a couple of bearish things that we need to consider at the moment. I spoke about this one yesterday briefly. Friday is a big day for Bitcoin. 5.8 billion in options expiring, okay? With 21% of them being in the money. Max paying price is 58K, okay? They might want to push the price as close to 58K as possible. Okay, that might be 60K, it might be 61, or if the market starts ripping today, they might just try and bring it back tomorrow a little bit, just to bring it a little bit closer. So there are things in here that tell us, you know, volatility is coming. Let's not say it's just going to be net up all the way. We're going to have things like this all the time. And then we also have the GDP revision is coming out today. Okay, that may or may not be priced into the market already, but it's here. And we need to acknowledge that there could be some volatility later with this as well. So it might not be a one-way ticket to the moon, okay? Expect some kind of volatility not today. Now, this chart that I'm about to show you guys was a very important chart for us in March. We watched this thing pretty much every day when the market was pumping, and it was a great indicator as when we could be getting a flush out, when the market was getting hot. And a little reminder for you guys from Burger Flipper, he says, close all the positions once this is orange and red. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to get this chart. Okay, you're going to go to CoinGlass and you're going to type in funding heat rate map. Okay, this thing is free. You go into your browser, make sure if you are trading leverage or you are trading, make sure you have this open every single day for yourself that you are looking at this. And if you guys were around trading in March, you would have noticed we had very thick orange bands in some of these areas where things were getting overcooked. They were getting completely overheated. And, that was a sign for us that they needed some kind of flush out in the market. Right now, it's light, okay? Retail's not here yet. You guys are watching the show. The real retail guys aren't here yet, okay? And things are looking pretty good here for us at the moment from this perspective, okay? When this thing starts heating up, going deeper orange, yellow, those types of things, that is when we start putting the brakes on, okay? Until then, we're cruising. And, okay, what's 𝗪𝗓𝗥𝗟𝗗 says, nipples out, we go to the moon. Ray, send them to the moon, bro. They want to see your nipples, bro. Okay, here's our liquidation heat map. Let's just reset this one. And I like to reset this every 30 minutes or so. And you can see BTC has now taken out a little bit of liquidity to the upside, but we do have a little cluster up here. And this would be shorters and things like that into this region. So 65K is the next little target band to the upside. If they are going to send us down for a quick wick, I'm watching 63,600. And then I've got a big cluster here, guys. Look out. 62,500 down to 62K. Okay, that does tie in pretty nicely with this 382 fib, okay, and the trend and the horizontal. So let's say that's not off the table, the 62K, if they're going to flush the leverage. Remember, the leverage heat map we gave you yesterday was 63K, and they came and they pinged that perfectly. So this leverage heat map does work. And it does provide you targets. Look at that little candle. They dipped it yesterday. Our leverage was, I think it was just under or just above 63K we were looking at. And they came and they took that out and then they sent it straight back up. So that heat map does work for us. And just keep watching. Okay. And here is our total 3. We looked at this yesterday, still super bullish. We do have a problem, the 200-day MA ahead of us. We've got that same problem with Solana, but we can see one by one, these altcoins are actually breaking the 200-day MA. So things are starting to look pretty decent out there from that front. And we are cruising there. So no changes here for me on total 3. If anything, we do get some kind of rejection here, but I'm expecting this thing to stay bullish on any types of pullback. Naturally, these alts will get hurt, but if we do get a medium-sized pullback, I think we're going to be okay. And then my MDX trend master, as I showed you guys yesterday, that thing is still pointing up for us, and things are looking hot. It looks like it wants to ride a bit higher. So, things are lining up nicely here for us. Let's just not get our titties in a tangle here with too much leverage, okay? And we got some of our Sniper Club traders here. They're going to talk to you about a couple of things. You're going to get advice from some of the Sniper Club members here. Okay, let's talk dominance. Obviously, very relevant to the altcoins, and this is dominance on the daily, and we've still got a major problem here with the 50-day moving average. I don't like that we keep bouncing off this 50-day MA. I really want to start losing that and start closing underneath, okay? If we get the result we want, this means the altcoins are running hard for us, okay? And they start pushing lower. If I was you, okay? Well, for me, okay, this is where dominance starts hitting this zone. That is a big TP zone for me on some of my leverage plays, okay? That is where I'm going to be looking, saying, hey, okay, we might get a big dominance bounce here. We don't know if it's going to be Bitcoin pumping or dumping, but we do know a dominance bounce most likely happens in a nice, thick horizontal band, and you can see it generally likes to respect these areas. So for me, open this chart, have this one ready. If dominance hits that area, maybe it's time to start tightening up stops. Maybe it's time to start trailing stops. Maybe you want to take something off the table, things like that. And, things would have run its course quite nicely there. Okay, so I'm doing a giveaway today, and it's a very simple thing you need to do. Okay, so we have partnered with Ledger. Okay, you guys know about this, Ledger. There is a link in the description for Ledger. Okay, so what you need to do here is buy a Ledger. Okay, it's for 5 of you. This is available for 5 of you guys. If you buy a Ledger, any one of these here, okay, there's a Nano S, Nano X, Stacks, a Ledger Flex, and if you buy any one of these for 5 of you guys, I'm going to give you a Bitfunded $49 account, okay, for free. Okay, so if you buy the Ledger, you're gonna submit it your email to giveaways@cryptobanter.com. There is a link in the description with that email address. Show them that you've bought the Ledger. The first 5 are getting a Bitfunded account, a $49 account from me, and then you can trade your way to success. Now, Ray, do you want to manage some names here? Do you want to pick out some names in the chats here for us?
Well, don't they have to buy the Ledger?
They got to buy the Ledger, yes.
Okay, so
well, I mean, if
in the comments,
they want to buy the Ledger, okay.
Right. Well, if you guys want the free account, tell me if you're going to buy the Ledger in the comments. We'll take your names down, and we'll go from there.
There we go.
The email is, I don't see the email in the description again.
The email is giveaways@cryptobanter.com. It will be in the show description at any point in time. It's going to magically arrive again in the next couple of minutes. Okay, so if you want to buy the ledger, you're getting a free Bitfunded account from me for 5 people there. Okay, so something fun. And then just a reminder, Bitfunded, you can see I've got the tick now. I've passed stage 2. I now have a funded account, so I'm going to use their money. We're going to try and rinse those guys. Okay, I'm waiting for a pullback for this thing when I'm going to fire this up. I don't want to trade breakouts just yet. I feel they're a little bit more risky. I'm waiting for a nice pullback in the market. Then I'm going to fire up my Bitfunded funded account, and we're going to start trading that thing in some juicy zones when we get there. Okay, so let's get into some of these altcoins. Now, the big one today is Solana for me. This is the one that we are going to be looking at. And Sol, you can see we've got our 200-day MA pressure, and no real changes from yesterday other than we've got a beautiful green candle today. So we're still fighting our 152, 153 zone, and we do have a little bit of work to do to get to our 164. So if we do crack that 200-day MA, my next Sol target is a 5% upside. Okay, so 5% upside, it could be a TP zone again. Okay, so remember, we want to go level by level here. We can't predict exactly where we get a rejection, but we do know at big areas, you typically get rejections. Okay, so that could be the zone where they send us back. That could be the zone where they send us back. It could happen at any one of these stages. So I like to go level by level here. Let's get Sol above the 200-day MA. Then it becomes our support. Then we ride this thing to 162, 164, somewhere there. If we crack higher up there, then we have new support that we can work with. And then we're riding Sol to 193. So there's potential upside from here on a break of the 200-day of about another 26% on Sol. Okay, and potential downside from here, if it rejects today, there's potential downside for me on Sol of about 8% at the moment to the bounce zone for me, which is about 141, 140, that type of level. I would look for a bounce on Sol on any weakness today. Okay, so Sol, you've got your game plan. Now remember, Sol strength is helping Bonk. It's helping Whiff, as you guys know. It's helping a ton of other Sol ecosystem plays, and you've noticed that all these, all these memes that are popping off. Now, before we get into some of the Sol memes, I just want to update you guys on Brett from yesterday. This thing is absolutely cooking. Okay, finally broken our trend. I mean, this was such a banger call, guys. We were talking about this thing on Monday or Tuesday, pressure on the 50-day. We were saying when these altcoins break the 50-day, we get a big move. Okay, and now Brett is absolutely flying. We've broken our trend, and looks like that 50-day MA is now our massive support for the spot traders now as well. Okay, and leverage traders, you can naturally start moving your stops up. I'm going to give you an area where you can look to put your stop. But we are now pushing, and we are well on track now to our TP1 zone, which is going to be 0.1 on Brett. So let this thing play out here. Let's push it up to 0.1. That is going to be the first TP zone that we are looking at. And then remember the DGen play. Look at this absolute banger. And we had this yesterday set up for you guys on the 1 hour. And remember, you get two ways you can play this. You can be the spot player or the margin trader who looks at bigger picture things. You start identifying massive support levels lower down if you are looking for longs. If you are a DGen, you're trading higher leverage, well, you need to dial in 1 hour, 15-minute setups. Then you need to map out a nice little picture for yourself and look for reaction zones. And that is what I built for you guys yesterday. And just look at this play. I mean, this thing dipped into our 382 region. So yesterday it pumped off it, came back down, reaction zone into that 382, and then an absolute send here on Brett. So that thing is now well underway. And if you are a leverage trader, your best support that you can use currently is going to be the lows from this morning. So the dump lows that we had earlier today. So 0.84 can be your new stop loss zone that you can use, 0.84. That is a nice little juicy area there. So if we come back down there, and we most likely then start losing that zone after a pump like that. So 0.84 and under is a nice little stop zone for you guys. Then what you can do, if you have now missed Brett and you're looking for more action, remember, when these things are trending up, at some point, you get the pullbacks, you can buy them, they pump. You get the pullbacks, you buy them, they pump. Then at some point, that rising trend falls over, okay? And then we have to repeat this whole cycle again. So, if you're constantly riding up an uptrend, at some point you're going to be wrong, because at some point the uptrend gets lost and it falls over, but you can play the game. So what I'm going to give you guys is a scalper setup here on Brett for any pullbacks now later on today, and these could work in your favor. So what you do is you grab the fib from the absolute low. So today's low, that was this morning for me, and you pull it to the highs, and you're going to keep dragging this fib up. If Brett keeps going up, you're going to keep dragging the fib up until it rejects. Once it rejects, then you're gonna release your fibs. You want to see your 382, you want to see your 618 fib, and then you're going to look for your potential reaction areas in the same way that we looked for them yesterday. And these are going to be your typical degen scalper zones. So now we've broken a nice horizontal here on Brett. As you can see, we now pushing higher. We're looking for some kind of pullback here into that zone. And naturally, I want to see a reaction of that area. Okay, now if that area fails, this is most likely your next zone that you're going to be looking at. So area number 1, 0.0905, okay, hot zone. Area number 2, 0.088, another hot zone there for you guys. If this thing is going to hold, I would expect these two bullish pullback areas to work out for Brett. Okay, naturally, if not, then we start losing it and we start watching your new horizontals or your old horizontals again. So it's as simple as that, and catching these breakouts. Now, a bit earlier today, this morning, I caught a theta breakout trade on the 15-minute candles. I'm going to teach you guys exactly how to do that, because in these types of bullish conditions, the only play at the moment, we're not getting big juicy pullbacks. The only play is really grabbing these breakout plays or short little bullish pullbacks. So I'm going to teach you exactly how I played this theta breakout, and then hopefully you'll be able to learn something out of this. I see David J bought a ledger. Nice, bro. Okay, Ray, just keep track of everybody who's doing it there for us. Okay, so Brett, you've got your support zones marked out here for you: 0.905, 0.088, and then bigger picture, we want to take out 0.1, we want to take out 0.117. Okay, so that is now locked in. That is cooking for us. And then it's a slightly high risk play here, guys, but I've tried this Popcat. I've bought Popcat Spot. I've tried a small Popcat leverage play here as well, because I think this thing can be a banger. If Sol pops the 200-day MA, Popcat is going to, I don't want to swear, okay, but Popcat is going to rip. All right, it's now broken all-time highs. You can see it's retesting all-time highs currently. Okay, and we are looking for a bigger move now. Now we are speculating as to what the target could be for Popcat, but right now I've pulled the 1618 fib, and my first target is 1.47. Okay, so it's quite a big move here. It's about a 42% move on Popcat. Is it possible? Yes. Okay, price discovery and bullish Solana and retail coming back and these meme coins ripping. Well, fuck me. Okay, Popcat should be a ripper. Your risk naturally is a close under the daily low. Okay, you can see we had a daily low here, and that for me is 0.95. Okay, so your risk currently is quite big, but I mean, considering a meme coin, it's 8%. Okay, it's not bad. You shouldn't be trading these meme coins on super high leverage anyway. You should have a very low leverage setup on these things, or alternatively, you're playing with spot. But you can see Popcat, we've broken through previous highs. Okay, I'm looking now for some energy out of Sol, and then for me, they're taking Popcat up to 1.47, and that's going to be a TP zone for me on the leverage position. On the spot position, I'm just going to carry on holding this thing, and we'll be carrying on. And Cyber Bro says, bro, that bull chest, Ray must be 200x long. Bro, I can't get over the amount of hair on this man's chest. What is going on? Okay, so Popcat, I like it. Okay, you can see the story. Break of horizontals, retest. Let's send this thing higher. Okay, your risk right now is 8%. If you close under 95, okay, that most likely tells you the market has failed, Bitcoin has rejected, and Bitcoin is sending things lower. Okay, then we reassess. Then we look for new entries for Popcat lower down. And for me, it's most likely going to be around 76, depending on how big the rejection is on the market. But remember, if you take a stop on Popcat up here, and then you sit back, if you get stopped out, if we do get our juicy entry here, eventually we are going back to this region. You're going to make that all back, okay, and more when it sends itself higher up. Okay, so here's my, some of my situation. You can see I've started that Popcat position. It's a small position. 𝗲𝗲, it's $35,000. It's finally printing for me. Look at this. We're finally making money. Lido, boring. Sundog still doing its thing, pretty boring. AVAX, that's a backup short I'm in. It's a head short play. It might do good things for me later. I'm going to add to that short when we hit key areas. Okay, so I'm just going to let it do what it needs to do. If I'm net long here with all these other positions, they can go up. They can rinse me as much as they want on this AVAX short. At some point in this market, what I do know factually is we're going to get a 20 or 30% dump on the market. Okay, at key areas, I'm going to add to this AVAX short. And if we get a 30% dump on the market, it's just going to help my account down. We can bank some profits there and use that to add to other positions. Okay, so that's the theory or the thesis behind it. And then KDA, that was a late bloomer. Ray and I were just buzzing around after the show yesterday, and he said, "Fuck, look at this KDA." And it was a very tight little situation. I mean, look at this. Okay, like I was just like, there's a move coming. Okay, it's either down or up, but I've set this thing up. I've got some limit orders here on KDA lower down. If they do some kind of flush to the downside, looking to buy, and you can see my stop is at 59. Okay, so I'm going to exit at 59 because that means they're sending this thing straight to hell. And then you can see Sol, that is still cooking at the bottom. That's a $50,000 position and not ready to add yet. When we get a convincing break of the 200-day MA, I think I'm going to then start adding to that Sol position and grow it a little bit. So that is the current game plan. Look at this 𝗲𝗲. Guys, I really hope some of you got 𝗲𝗲. It's been an absolute banger. I know I was going on about ETH bronus and all these things, but it was inevitable that 𝗲𝗲 was going to wake up with some of these other meme coins. And now pushing into our first danger zone. And that is why this is a TP zone for 𝗲𝗲. It's a danger zone here. It's the 200-day moving average. It's the 100-day moving average. And there's going to be a fight. Okay, but what I can tell you here, if you've missed 𝗲𝗲, there will be a further trade later on. The next trade is going to look something like that. And we're going to be looking for trades off support here for a bigger move later on. So I've got you covered on 𝗲𝗲. If you've missed 𝗲𝗲 for now, wait it out. Okay, we are at resistance. Anything can happen here. Once we break the resistance, we can start figuring out a new game plan. I don't think 𝗲𝗲 is going away. And ultimately, I think 𝗲𝗲 is going to at least this 129 level. So there's lots of time here. And yeah, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. So don't panic. There's no FOMO. And while we're talking about memes, I haven't bought memes in so long, okay? But I've bought this thing, Kate. I think it's related to Doge, Doge's sister cat. Oh, fuck, I don't know exactly. But yeah, I was told that this could be a banger. So I've bought this Kate situation, nothing big. But just a reminder, meme coins, they can go straight to zero. You can get rugged and they can send you to zero. So if you are buying meme coins, be extra careful. This is a meme coin on ETH. Okay, the theory here is ETH wakes up. What else can wake up? 𝗲𝗲𝗓𝗓, DTI, the Donald Trump play, Kate, there's tons of others, PayPay, all these types could start waking up again. You can see this is Kate on the 2 hour, and there's been a nice big sell-off here at the moment. It's a $11 million market cap, could go to zero. Okay, just dropping this here, telling you guys what I've done. And then remember 𝗪𝗏. Let's not forget about 𝗪𝗏s. Okay, 𝗪𝗏s is a very special meme coin for us. And I mean, he's got his own YouTube channel, as you guys know. And naturally, it fell over in the bear market. But this guy's banging out content every single day. Okay, he's basically a media station with a meme coin. And go check it out. It's 𝗪𝗏𝗏, and you can find him on Twitter. You can find him on YouTube. He's got his own channel. And I see we've got a little bit of pumpage. Okay, this is 𝗪𝗏 on the daily. So there's a little bit of interest in it here at the moment. You can see the buyers are coming in. So maybe another one to watch. Maybe it's just time to start paying attention. 190% up in the last week or so. And look, lots of upside. Not, it doesn't necessarily have to go back to all-time highs. But, for me, there could be another 600-700% in play here for 𝗪𝗏. So don't sleep on 𝗪𝗏. Good go. Dylan, how about cock? Come on, bro. We'll deal with cock when we deal with AVAX. Guys, you know the drill. You always grab your cock. When AVAX is pumping, you got to grab your cock, especially if you're making money. Okay, let's get into another one I wanted to speak to you about today, Rune. Okay, if you're sleeping on Rune, don't sleep on Rune. That's all I can say. All right, and it doesn't have to be a leverage position, but I've got Rune spot bags here. I think this thing is a player. Okay, I think this thing is a banger. And this is JP. He's the man from Rune. He's the Rune man. And we've met this guy. And he's a very intelligent individual. But he's saying Rune is deflationary. Okay, block rewards are infinite due to circulating fees back into the reserve. And thus, over time, all Rune will get sucked into the network itself distributed to those who participate. But the key word here for me is Rune is deflationary. Also, this guy is super smart, and they're building some incredible things there on Thorchain. Okay, so don't sleep on this. Okay, let's be aware of this thing. And he says Thorchain affiliates now have 17 million market and development budget to promote TC swaps. This shit's going down here, guys. Okay, there's a drive happening here, and I wanted to show you the Rune weekly chart. This thing is looking super bullish, and a key level for us here is Rune breaking the 200-day moving average. Look at that. We are now piercing this thing. We are piercing a 618, and Rune is looking very aggressive. So anyone holding spot Rune, your next major target for Rune for this current move is going to be about 7.5. That's what you're going to be looking for, even down 7.3, give or take. So that is our target for that move. That's for the spot players, okay? The degens, we got to do a little bit more work for you guys, okay? We got to really start degenning this thing properly. So what I've done is I've set up a degen setup for you guys if you want to go fishing. Okay, and we're gonna sort this out. So I set this up earlier, but you can see it's ripped already. So we're just gonna redesign it quickly here live, and I want you guys to be able to get an entry on Rune. If this thing's gonna stay bullish, we're most likely gonna get a bullish buy zone. So what I want to identify here for you is you're gonna pull your fib from the lows, okay, on the 7th of September to the highs, which is now, okay? Remember, you're going to drag the fibs up until it actually rejects. So right now, it's not really rejecting. It's just floating around. But for the sake of this example, you're going to look for confluence, okay? And you're going to look for where these fibs tie in. So we've got a couple of things here of interest. So support number one, which you might find is going to tie in with a fib at some point, is your 200-day moving average. This is 5.3. Okay, so this is a big level here for me already, 5.3 as support. Then lower down, we've got our most bullish fib. It's the 236 fib. This gives you quite good support. If you guys saw what we looked at yesterday, a lot of these altcoins ripped off the 236. They ripped off the 382. So why not? Okay, pull out that 236. If we do get some kind of pullback here on Rune, that's a buy zone for me, 5.1. If we do go a little bit deeper, 4.7 is where you're looking at. Now, don't think we can't go back here. These things can happen very quickly. Like I explained, these pullbacks can happen when you least expect it. They'll come and just flush liquidity just quickly for fun on a Friday afternoon or whatever the story is, and they'll come and clean you out. Okay, so at some point it is coming, and these are the hot zones where you're going to be looking for your juicy entries. Okay, so 5.1, 4.767 as it currently stands. Okay, you could also potentially try, if it does dip, onto 5.3. That is a zone of interest for me. That is our 200-day moving average. But ideally, it's going to look something like this off one of these zones, like that, okay? And we're going to send that one higher to that 7.5 that we spoke about, that 7.5 region. And there's a couple of ways to do it. If you're trading super high leverage, you want to play around on that zone on its own. And if we lose that area, then you can start sniffing around on the zone lower down. Or alternatively, you can say, I'm confident that Rune remains bullish, okay? If you are, then you can start laddering into a position from the 236 down to the 382. Okay, that could be a strategy as well. Then that thing kicks on, and eventually this type of thing starts breaking trend. Okay, so you're going to have a trend line in play there. It starts breaking a trend. Once that fires off again, then you add to your position, and then it's on its way. Okay, then it's totally on its way. James, is Popcat running? This is good news. This is good news. Let's see, where's Popcat here? Yeah, it's doing its thing. It's doing its thing. We needed to go higher. James, can you send it higher? Okay, so guys, Rune, you've got a game plan here on Rune. Just remember, if this thing goes higher, you got to drag your fibs higher. You want to play the consolidation. You don't want to be buying these thick green candles, because then your risk to the downside obviously gets higher and higher and higher. And if you're playing leverage, you get caught. Okay, more often than not, you're going to get rinsed here. So just play it safe. Now, let's talk Zoomex competition. Okay, I've just closed a Rune position that I had on this Zoomex comp, and a reminder for you guys: the Zoomex comp doesn't have to be massive position sizes. You can see I'm trading small positions here. Look at this. My phantom position is $700. I've added to that once, and I've got a tiny Popcat position that I've added to here a little bit as well. And we're just trying to grow. We're just trying to grow the P&L. So it doesn't have to be a major position size. You don't have to ape in. It's more about just getting the percent right for you guys. And as far as we are on the Zoomex comp, let's take a look how we stand here quickly, and let's hit our squad details. And here we go. So we've got FJ the second. He's from Sniper Club. He's killing it here, 380%. The man's like a savage. He's trading Phantom. He's only hitting Phantom at the moment. And then we've got Sniper Paul. Now, Sniper Paul is in the house here with us. And we've also got Brian. Brian's not on our top 10 list, but he's active. And he's telling me he's 80% up on ADA at the moment. So let's get the boys up here and see what's going on here. Hello, legends.
How's it going, guys?
Hello. So we got a firefighter from Houston, and we got an ice cream man from New York.
No, it's
Is that
UK.
correct? From the UK?
Yeah.
No, okay. So
I used to live in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
New York. Yeah.
That explains.
This is Houston, Texas here.
Houston, man. So, okay, boys. Here's the whiff man. This guy's the whiff god. Okay, talk to me about whiff. Why do you love it so much?
After many months of a lot of pain and little to no gains, just decided to pick a token, learn its behavior. For me, it was whiff. I like the volatility, much like Mama Sniper picked 𝗬𝗓 to work with. I think it's key to take full advantage of all the resources we get from Sniper School, all these live videos. And for me, it was really the Sniper Club. You get like master traders, live sessions, pretty much daily. You get charts and, an awesome community. They think
all the juice is there, but I'm always impressed by this man. I mean, even while he's making ice cream, he's on our Zooms. I can see them.
Yeah, I have the screens in front of me.
And he's
I pretty much watch it 24/7. Pretty much. I mean.
So whiff is his token, and there's a lesson in this. Okay, you don't need to trade everything. Okay, you need to back one or two horses, learn how they move. Remember, all of these charts, you can get a feel for them along the way, and you get comfortable with how they trade. You almost feel like you own them, the way they move. And you've absolutely nailed it, Paul. Well done. So 260.
I mean, you find a strategy, you find your strategy, and then you just stick to it. Rinse and repeat, basically.
Except don't want to get rinsed. And Brian, talk to me about, so Brian's 80% up, 90% up in ADA?
It's actually about 90% up right now. Yesterday I was in a pendle and a whiff. So whiff one went up about 40%, and then the pendle went up about 36%.
Nice, man. And are you enjoying the comp? Or what else are you doing in Sniper Club there?
Well, I'm watching the Zoom calls, the teaching calls just about every day, and going over the charts and stuff, along with watching some of the YouTube stuff. Excuse me. And catching the calls that's on Sniper Club. It's teaching me a lot.
So yeah, guys, I mean, these are Sniper Club members. I mean, Paul, you've been there since November. Brian, you've
pretty
been
much
there?
Since the time you started. Yep.
When did you join, Brian?
About the same time.
See, these are OGs. Hey, we maybe need to give the OGs a special name there in those discords. We need to work on that, guys. But thanks for hanging out. It's always fun to have some Sniper Club members. This is what goes on in Sniper Club, guys. Okay, there's such a vibe in there. These guys are dropping trades in the chat as well. Never mind the team that's in there helping with psychology, dropping their own setups, their own trades. It's all happening in there. It's not just me and Sheldon in the Sniper Club. It's about the community. And that is what these guys are doing. Guys, I'm going to crack on with the show, but thanks for hanging. And we'll see you guys in the Sniper Club. Okay, so that is where we are in the Zoomex comp. Now, reminder, the Zoomex comp ends on the 2nd of October. So there is still time. First prize gets $1,000 if you've in the comp on my link. Okay, so Zoomex have been kind enough to offer $1,000. So the competition is heating up here in the Sniper Club. Right now, FJ is in line to win $1,000. Paul's going to win $600 for second, and Womprat67 is going to get $400 for third. Okay, that's whoever finishes here at the end, and that is what we're hunting for at the moment. So there's a link in the description there, guys. Join us for the Zoomex competition. You got 21 hours to sign up. Okay, and then you'll have 6 days of trading. You can accomplish a lot in 6 days there, and get things moving on. Okay, now let's talk whiff, because the whiff man was here and he loves his whiff, and it's a thing. So notice our whiff is pushing up just because Soul is showing relative strength. It will probably full send once Soul breaks out of this huge level. I agree. Okay, I think it's written in the stars. These memes are going to rip, and the minute Soul starts pumping. So let's talk about this here. You can see whiff is in our first rejection zone. This is in our first TP zone, and we highlighted this area yesterday. Okay, why was this a potential rejection zone? The 2.2, that is our 618 fib. that is our rising trend as well. So this whole region is a little bit of a danger zone here for whiff traders. So what I would recommend, TP time in this type of area. This is a good place to take some profits. And if we are pushing a little bit higher, you're looking at about 2.4 for now. So right now, whiff traders, taking it easy, okay? Your main support that you're going to be watching, 1.95, okay? And let's not discount anything like that, okay? That could still be on the table for us, a little pullback to 1.95. So, you know, like I said before, if we get to these key zones, that's where you want to maybe de-risk a bit, raise your stop, you just want to protect capital, even if you can get your stop in profit and things like that, just to make sure that you guys are safe in case there are any pullbacks in the market. And then just looking at whiff, we tackled this one yesterday on the DGen setup, and I'm going to DGen you guys again with this thing. And a reminder, this thing was loving the 236 fib. Remember, this is our most bullish fib, the 236 fib. Look what it did here, consolidated on it, sent it up. Then yesterday we were saying, look out, this is your support here, watch for a bounce there, and bang, off she went on the 236 fib. So your key fibs that you're going to need when we are trading these sort of bullish moves on low time frames, it's your 236 fib, 618, 786, and you can throw in the 0.5 if you want to, but that's pretty much all you're going to need for these DGen type setups. Then you're looking for confluence, you're adding your 50-day MA, 100-day, 200-day MA, and you're going to add things like anchored VWAPs and stuff like that. And then you've got all the tools that you need to be a little bit of a DGen if you want to. Okay, so right now, let's try and figure out if we do get a proper rejection here out of whiff, where can this thing come back for us? Where can this thing go? And let's try and see if we can snag some kind of entry here on any weakness. So the first thing we're going to do is look for a trend. And we can see I've got a trend here from these lows to the highs there. We can pull that trend. Then we're going to dial in and we're going to say, okay, where's our fibs and what are our fibs tying in with? So I'm going to take a fib from the lows now on the 26th that were this morning. We pull it from the lows to the high. Look how this gets brought up here quite quickly at the moment. And then we look at some horizontals. Okay, we don't have great horizontals there. Okay, it's interesting, but it's not great. And then we've got our 618. This looks better for me. This looks very nice here. Okay, so that looks like a nice zone. So DGens, okay, you want a piece of whiff and the market starts sneezing, Bitcoin gives us a mini pullback, okay, you most likely see whiff hitting one of these types of zones, okay, that's your zone number one, 2.15, okay, look for that. Alternatively, 2.08, that is your next big or next decent reaction zone. And when I say reaction zone, I'm looking for something like this. I'm looking for something like that. I'm looking for something like that. When I'm talking reactions, okay, that is what we're looking at on those zones. Naturally, you know, if we lose those areas, there's a good sign that it most likely moves to the next zone. Okay, it might take a few hours. It might take, it could take half a day to get down there. But if we start closing underneath, generally that thing likes to come then a little bit lower down. So look out for that. Nice little levels here for the DGens on whiff. And then your upside target is going to be 2.4 is what you're going to be chasing, if that is going to play out for you. Now, we got a couple of things running on 𝗬𝗥 as well. And I've taken a high-risk Ponky trade. It was a breakout play. I'm going to show you the details here. And you can see I've got Theta running as well. Okay, it was a Theta pure breakout trade on the 15 minutes. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it for yourself so that you can plan these things along the way. And so here is Ponky, and my current stop is sitting at 0.3361, and you can see my average entry is 0.34. So right now, this is the 15-minute chart. So what you can do is you can actually plot it on 𝗬𝗥. You don't have to even leave the platform if you want to do a little bit of charting there. And, we want to see this trend hold to continue the momentum. If we start losing this trend, I'll most likely end up in that type of region. Then I'll be looking for that bounce at the 33 zone. But you can see where my stop is here. And if I'm away from the desk and things like that, I like to have a hard stop. And if I'm actively watching the trade, then I leave the stop open and I watch it accordingly and adjust and do things that I need to do. But if you're away from your PC, always safe to have a hard stop in place there, just in case something goes wrong. Okay, so Ponky, you've got the story. Again, that's a soul meme play. Okay, Popcat, Ponky, Whiff, Bonk, all these types of things. And there's some mother. I grabbed some mother, this 𝗬𝗟𝗪𝗕. And again, this is a super high risk play. And I bought this thing on 5x. Okay, so, we don't know where this thing's going to go. Okay, we know she's got a massive community behind her. And just grab that pump candle there. You can see on low leverage. and now it's just riding up. So soon I'm just going to move my stop to under these lows at 1.25, and then we let it do its thing. Okay, this was a high risk momentum play, but we're going to be watching, we're going to be watching these types of levels here, the 0.13. We're going to keep our eyes on that now as the next potential support here on this mothership or whatever. So we're looking for that to kind of hold there for us. Okay, now let's get into Theta, and I want to talk to you about this thing and why it was interesting to me earlier today. So the first thing you want to do, you zoom out, bigger picture. You want to see what is this thing doing on the daily, and you can immediately see, okay, there's two types of scenarios here for Theta. Scenario number one that is potentially playing out is something along these lines. Not that we want to get too bearish, okay, but that's scenario number one that could be playing out on Theta, okay? Just bear with me. Listen to me. Scenario number two is that we remain super bullish at this resistance band. Okay. If we do get a solid breakout of these types of tokens in these areas, then we start looking for the next level. Okay. So right now for me, the next level that we want to trade to is about a 14% move. So I'm not targeting a big move. I've preset a TP at 1.63. Let's just confirm where that is. Theta, where's my TP? Okay, it was set 1.63. I'll tell you why it's set there. It is preset. It's set here just under these horizontals. So 1.63, I want to front run that area. So if we do push up into that zone, I wanted to just grab my profit while I'm sleeping or whatever, and then exit me safely. Okay, so right now, that is what my game plan is on the bigger picture on Theta. Now, how did I play this breakout earlier today? Well, it was pretty simple. Okay, I dialed into the 15-minute candles. We could see Theta was looking bullish. And why was it looking bullish? You could see we had this rising situation here, the squeezy setup on the 15 minutes. It was looking interesting to me. What do I love? I love the squeeze setup that you get when you get a horizontal getting squeezed by a rising trend. Okay, it often just pops. And then they start shooting higher, especially in bullish markets. Then I also identified we were above the weekly pivot. Okay, relatively tight weekly pivot from Easy Algo. Okay, so there were a couple of things saying to me, yes, okay, this could be a real squeeze that sends us a little bit higher. And the minute I saw this candle start breaking out, so I was zoomed in on the 15 minutes, I saw this candle, aggressive candle here, start breaking out. My first thing I did was bang my stop under the previous candle low. So I immediately just bumped it under there, okay, to de-risk myself. And then I sent that thing off, because sometimes you actually got to play the momentum game as well. So as you can see, this thing building for a pop. The minute we had a solid candle there, I banged my stop under that previous candle, and then I took the position. I took the position, then I banged my stop under that region. Then once it starts running, you can start raising your stop. You can put your stop under the breakout candle as well. Okay. Now remember, in bullish conditions, these things start popping off. In choppy conditions, you'll get fake outs and they end you all the time. Okay. So you got to be aware of your environment. And right now the market is super bullish. So these things will work to a degree, but we are going to move back to a point. And I think in the near future, we're going to move back into a point where breakouts start working less. Okay. And then we're going to have to start focusing on more of the traditional TA stuff where we're waiting for nice pullbacks. We're waiting for juicy areas. When we're in a downtrend, then naturally that will reverse again. Market will turn super bullish again. And we go again. We trade the breakouts. We trade the squeezes. We do all these things. Then that trend falls over. We get a little pullback for a week or two. We play that game. Then we get our entries and we send it again. Okay. So it's a rinse and repeat system that we're going to get. And, all you need to do is keep watching the show. All you need to do is just keep listening to the TA advice that you are getting from me. Keep listening to these hot zones. Keep listening to these areas. Put them in practice and don't overtrade. If I'm talking about 10 tokens, I don't want you guys to go trade 10 tokens. I want you to pick one or two or use the TA that I'm doing on your tokens as well. And just get better at it. That's really what you want to be in these types of conditions so that you know how to react at the right time. So now let's finish off Theta. If you missed Theta, now we can see Theta's had a nice breakout. How do we get a little piece of this? So same principle again. We take our trends from the absolute lows. We're looking for a nice solid trend here on Theta. Then we're going to pull some fibs. We want to see where our fib positions here. Where can we get supports? Okay, we've got a 382. Let's see what we have time with. That's not bad. Okay, so we can see a nice little zone over there. Look at that. Okay, that could be a reaction area for us there, for theta, and then lower down. Okay, so big level here for a retest for me on theta is going to be 1.44. Watching 1.44 today. If we do get a meltdown, 1.44 is where it's at for me. That is what I got my eyes on there. That's your first super sort of bullish way you can play that one. And what was that comment there? Ray, he's trading his way to sniper school. I'm trading my way into sniper school. Cool, bro. Crypto mob. Do the sniper school, then come straight to Sniper Club, because we do so much more of this. And we've got other chartists in there. We've got other team members in there. The community shares charts, and it would be amazing benefit to you if you know how to read some charts. You can take advantage of all the ideas and all the alpha in the Sniper Club. So 𝗪𝗪𝗓𝗏 is here, present. Lord of Juicy Entries. I'm glad you are here, sir. Okay, so theta, that is your next best grab now. 1.43. You can see, interestingly, it's rejecting at the weekly high. Okay, this is the 𝗬𝗟𝗪𝗔𝗦𝗪 weekly high. So watch out here. You can see a nice typical rejection zone if you trade with 𝗬𝗟𝗪𝗪. And guys, there is a link in the description for 𝗬𝗟𝗪𝗪. There's a 3-day free trial that you guys can take on. Okay, I've got some more stuff. Okay, hang in there. I've got more stuff. We're talking WLD. Remember that shitcoin. This thing. Okay, remember, so WLD. It was WorldCoin, hey Ray, that wanted what? How many signups? 1 billion signups by 2025. They wanted 1 billion signups by 2025, and they only 980 million signups short.
Well, thanks for at least we got the likes, guys. Thank you for that.
I don't think it's a big deal. But they got a small little fine. Okay, $800,000. I don't think it's a big deal, the fine, but it's just usable. And everyone noticed this thing yesterday started ripping. Okay, so to their credit, the market doesn't seem to care that they might be absolute shit coinery, and this thing is now pumping. So what I want to give you guys is a couple of levels here that you can play with if you are interested in chasing this, one of the biggest shit coins in history. So what we got here, the guys want to trade, bro. We got big red green candles here, and they want to make some money. So right off the gates, your first WLD big target for me is 2.5. Okay, so I'm not arguing with that. I would say we go to 2.5. That's the most reasonable area here for me. You can see this region here. And what does it look like? It could easily be a massive dump there, and then eventually we go back up there. So, I don't want to say it's going to be in a straight line, but there is going to be an opportunity here. So what you need to do is pull your fibs from the dump on September the 6th to the highs. Okay, now you want to look at your big base zones. Get out your most bullish fib. Now this thing is ripped. That's your 236. Look how perfectly that 236 ties in with this horizontal. Okay, so now we know this is a big support zone for us. This is a big reaction zone for us. So for us, we're looking for something like that. Bang, 1.96. Okay, that's your most reasonable area here if you want to play it safe. Okay, because you could easily be in a situation, you buy some of this now, it pumps a little bit higher, and then they send it back to those types of levels. So best support here, if you are already in a position, 1.96, that's your best exit zone. If you start losing that zone, exit zone there. Another potential exit zone for you, 1.83. Okay, at some point they do like to come and wipe out all these candles. Okay, so 1.83 could also be on the table for you. Look what happened last time we had these types of candles. They come and wipe them out. Okay, so look at that. We had this beautiful pump here, big pump. What did they do? They took it out. Okay, this red candle, what did they do? They took it out. Okay, so it can easily happen again. The same system. And just like you've seen with Sui, it's got tired. Okay, it stopped absolutely melting faces. Now it's consolidating. Not saying it's not going to pump again. I'm still sitting in that Sui short, but if the market falls over, I think they start selling Sui. But we'll have to see how that plays out. Okay, so WLD, you've got your targets, you've got your key supports here that you can watch. And look, a lot of questions for WLD, and I thought we better do it. And then an update yesterday on BMEX. I gave you guys the setup yesterday and the day before. I think we've covered this a couple of times this week, but it was important for me just to show you again how these things can play out for you and the type of things you need to look for. And remember, these things happen on all time frames. So the first time frame I'm showing you is the daily. You get a break of horizontal, then you get the retest, then you get the buy to send it higher. The same applies on the lower time frames, the SR flips or the support resistance flips. And BMX looking good now on the daily, and we are tracking to our next target. So I want to highlight a couple of zones here because that's not the only one. we're going to be watching these wicks there. 1954, 0.01954, and then you're going to be watching 0.02. 0.02. Okay, so these are your upside targets now for Beam, now that it's cooking. And then we can zoom in again. And yesterday, what did I say to you guys? I said, we're looking at this flag here. The flag is grinding lower. Okay, there's two options to trade this thing. You either let the flag continue all the way down and you wait for our hot zone here. That's where you nibble at the entry. Then it breaks and you add to that position. Okay, that was option number one. Option number two was, if we start breaking this trend, okay, you get that breakout candle, the first thing you can do is bang a stop under the breakout candle, or you can bang a stop under the previous lows to protect yourself. Now, the first stage of a breakout trade often has the most risk, okay, because remember, a breakout trade is often run a little bit before it breaks out. Okay, so you've already had, for example, there was already a 3% move for it to move out. So if you're catching a breakout trade, your downside risk on this example is 3%. So the risk is quite high. And that would explain why you could start this with very low leverage or smaller size. Then as it starts pumping, you can add to that position. So typical breakout here for us. And then the minute you see, so you've got your breakout stop under the lows, the minute you see this thing really starting to run, then you can raise your stop quite quickly. And then you really start de-risking yourself relatively quickly for these types of things. So just a simple game plan here, bull market vibes, breakouts, horizontal breakouts, trend breakouts. Okay, you got to know how to trade these things. You got to know the system as to how to do it, because these breakouts can be deadly when they work against you. Okay, so just play safe all the time. Understand what you are dealing with. Okay, now we're raising our fibs from the lows to the highs again, and we want to identify some hot zones. In fact, I'm going to take this fib from here, the 26. Okay, that's the lows from today. Now we're looking for some bullish areas. Now I want to look at my main bull zones here for me, and this is BMX on the 1 hour. So we're looking at some horizontal tie-in. Okay, where can we get a nice bounce on this beam if we get a little bit of a sell-off now into the US market open later today? For me, first zone 0.0179. That is what I'm looking for there. That for me is a banger in that area over there. And we're going to track this trend lower because there's another hot zone here for you guys too. 0.0175. So if that zone doesn't hold for you guys, your next potential area, your next potential banger zone, 175. That's what you're looking at. And then if we remain bullish, we're typically going to break the trend, and then you can add to that position as well. Okay, so you can grow your position on these nice juicy levels. If you lose them, you look for the next level. Once you break the trend, you can add to that thing and start firing it up and really send that. I say Jelani is looking for a massive SHIB pump, I believe, and he spotted the golden cross. I must say, I saw Jelani on SHIB today. There was a super tight weekly pivot. So yes, if it's above that super tight weekly pivot, there could be a massive move coming on SHIB. I actually agree with his comments over there. Then I got one more update for you guys. Bonk. Just to cover Bonk, this thing is now, it's going well. Okay, we've spoken about it most of the week, and we had our 50-day MA. That was our marker. Now this thing is ripping. So congrats to all the Bonk traders. You are well on track now for your first TP. And then just an update yesterday, I gave some areas on Bonk and where we were looking for a bounce. Now, the interesting thing here for me is Bonk dipped through the 382, but I want you guys to see this. It pinged the anchored VWAP. Okay, look at that. It pinged our anchored VWAP from September and the 50-day moving average. So this is why multiple levels of confluence in an area are very, very important when you're looking for a trade. If you only have one indicator, like if you only have an MA, okay, it's not a great vibe. If you only have a fib, not a great vibe. But if you have an indicator, a fib, and a VWAP, and some horizontal levels, suddenly you wake up and you say, okay, this is actually a zone of interest. So that is why I'm always hunting for confluence. And ideally, you want to get about 3 things to be more confident of a reaction zone. So in this specific case, we had the 50-day MA, we had the VWAP, and we also had the 382 in this region. Okay, and that did fire off a nice little move there for Bonk. And now this thing is churning. So let's take a look if we can get a DGen play here for you guys on Bonk. So we're going to go into the 15 minutes now. We're going to get absolutely filthy for this. And we're going to see what we can come up with here. So first out the gates here, we can see Bonk looking bullish. Nice little bull flag in play. So that's looking hot. Secondly, we can see we've got massive support here. okay? 382 fib, which we know is reactive, and nice horizontals, which are reactive. So that looks good for me, okay? This would be a typical SR flip if they do come back. So I would say your support you want to work with here, 0.0193. 0.0193, that looks hot to me. Then you're going to look at this type of break here. If we don't drift lower, you're going to look for something like this, a pop of that area, the same way I played that theta trade. Once that thing starts popping, you're going to bang a stop under your previous candle. And then if that thing starts ripping, you're eventually going to put your stop under the breakout candle. Okay, so you're going to watch this one closely now on the 15 minutes. If there's going to be more juice, it's going to break that high, then you can get aggressive with it and start sending that one a little bit higher. One more setup for you guys. I've bought some spot of this. It's called 𝗪𝗡𝗧𝗧. Okay, this is a vibe. Okay, it's a bridge. Okay, if you guys know, the fundamental guys know what a bridge is, but apparently it's quite a good one, and apparently it's quite good use cases. And I bought some spot here. I think this is a player. Okay, I think this is going to move and might even grab me, a little bit of the leverage juice in this thing as well. So looking at this 31.65. % move. Okay, big move coming here in my opinion, but you can see we are at resistance, but this chart is super clean. Okay, so I bought spot here because we don't have to stress now about spot levels and all these things, because we can see our main invalidation here is 0.244. That's your big invalidation level there, 0.244. If it closes under that, well, then maybe it's invalidated. But right now, 31% move incoming for me. Let's see if the support holds at 26. Somewhere in that region, then I'm looking for 35. Okay, that's the game plan on that. Ray, can I help you there, sir?
Bitcoin is flying, so don't forget about sats.
Oh, sats. Let's find sats. Is this thing cooking, Ray? We're finding sats.
Yeah, it's moving.
Was it perps? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's going to be 10,000 sats.
10,000 sats. Okay. That's the one, 10,000 sats. Okay. Sure. This thing. Okay, so interesting here with sats. Let's get a better time frame. Let's go 4 hour. Okay, so Bitcoin play here. Pressure on the 200-day moving average. Okay, so that's interesting there. Could be a nice mover there for us. Okay, trend break. You've got your 50-day MA. It's reclaimed the 50-day MA. Yeah, Ray, what's the story with this thing, bro?
Tight monthly pivot, tight weekly, and tight daily.
Is it a meme?
It's the ordinals on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, it's Bitcoin season. So already sats, stacks.
Okay.
It's all gonna resolve.
Okay. So what we see here, tight weekly pivot tick. Okay, it's above that. What we see here, tight daily pivot. So what you can use for support is the 50-day moving average. Use the 50-day. So what I would suggest is drag this thing up. So I would say your exit point is close under the 50-day MA. So you've got yourself about a 3% risk. 0.003 is your close zone. Okay, 3% risk. Let's look for upside plays here. Upside targets. Let's go. Okay, there we go. Number 1, 34. Number 2, I actually prefer that. 38. Okay, 38, 34. Your current risk is 3%. Okay, you want the 50-day MA and the daily pivot to hold. If that doesn't hold, the trade is invalidated. Okay, 3% risk. Upside potential for the first move is only 8%. Upside for the whole move is about 20%. Okay, if you're a sats person and you like that story, that might be the one for you. Okay, I've grabbed this W, this wormhole. I think it could be fun. We'll see. Okay. So Jalani says Bitcoin just rejected again. Guys, you've got everything you need from me. You've got setups for any pullbacks. You've got targets. I hope I've done everything you want. And there's a big question, a big favor I need from you guys. And it's important that you do it after the show, okay? This is your show. I do the show for you guys. I stare at charts all day. I trade. I'll do all this stuff. But this is ultimately your show. So any feedback that you can offer me after the show in the comments, tell me what you want to see. Okay, it doesn't have to be a token. Tell me what you'd like me to do. Okay. If you're a new trader, you know, just say, I'm a new trader. I want to see XYZ. You can say, I'm a seasoned trader. I want to see XYZ. You can say, I trade big positions. I want XYZ. You just tell me what you want from me. This is your show. Okay. I wanted to do it for you guys. And I naturally have fun hanging out with you guys all the time. So after the show, you can't do it now in the live comments because I'll never see it. So it's got to be after. Feedback for me, and you know, let's make this show an absolute banger for you guys. And I want you to get full value out of this. Now, very important announcement. There's no show from me tomorrow. I'm not here. Okay, so this is going to have to tide you over till Sunday. Sniper Club members, I'm back Sunday for the live Zoom session, and then Monday till the end of the year, guys, I'm back in business. Okay, I'm not going away. Okay, that's it. Till the middle of the end of December, you've got me every day, Monday to Friday, most Sundays as well. So I'm going to be here for you guys. Just bear with me. I'm going away, doing some things. And yeah, we'll be back Sunday night, Sniper Club, guys. So join Sniper Club if you want the weekly action. Okay, guys, I'm out. Later. Ray, did you get liquidated?
A little bit.